Hey movie junkies, welcome back to another episode of Twin Flicks. I know it's been a while since I put out a new video. I wanted to get this out sooner, but just, things happen. But if you've been following me on my social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, then you know what I received lately. And I'm so happy I received them. Giallo is one of my favorite genres. And Arrow Video put out 2 different box sets, and they sent them to me to showcase and review. So they sent me the yellow edition. It's Giallo Essentials. It comes with What Have They Done to Your Daughters? Torso Stripped Nude for Your Killer. This is all Blu-ray remastered. I'll get into all that in my review. And the red box edition of Giallo Essentials with The Possessed, The Fifth Chord, and the Pajama Girl case. Now, as I said at the opening, each set contains 3 films that have been digitally restored with 2K scans from the original film negatives, and the audio was also restored using PCM mono track. But first I'm going to do a quick unboxing here so you can see what's included and the artwork. So first of all, I love the artwork here. There's the back. And then this opens up. This is pretty cool with the artwork, how it slides out like this. So there's a close-up of the artwork. And on the back is the movies with all the plot synopsis and the tech specs. And then you have each movie. We're going to start with the first movie that's included, What Have They Done to Your Daughters? So Arrow Video's new 2K restoration has removed virtually all signs of age-related wear and tear with very nice color reproduction, giving the presentation bolder, richer colors and deeper black levels, creating a nicely organic viewing experience. Overall, What Have They Done to Your Daughters has a great appearance throughout that really holds up quite nicely. And the mono PCM track sounds great. Alright, and up next, we are going to take a look at my ultimate favorite Giallo film, and that is the classic Torso. Which, by the way, is a little side point. David Fincher was originally set to direct a remake of Torso. However, it fell through and he went on to do Zodiac instead. I would have loved to have seen what Fincher would have done with this film. So not only did Arrow Video digitally restore Torso with a 2K scan resolution, it's also presented in its correct original theatrical aspect ratio of 1:66:1. Prior releases were a ratio of 1:85:1. Now, Blue Underground released this years ago, and it had its fair share of problems, including the incorrect aspect ratio. But now with this new restoration, we have a much better color reproduction. I did find the color being a little on the cool side than I would have liked. I would have liked a little warmer colors, but it's not to say it's a bad looking color palette, not at all. The colors pop very nicely with saturated bold colors and is much cleaner and clearer than ever before. And this restoration also shines with no signs of age-related wear and tear, and the grain structure is also very resolved with a fine, nice film grain field that looks natural and organic. There's also more depth and density that looks excellent with this restoration. Detail levels are on point, especially in the facial close-ups where you can make out pores, strands of hair, and later with close-ups of sliced and diced bodies. But this isn't a 100% perfect restoration. I did find an issue, and the only issue I found was with some of the optical effects. They can look a little rough or soft. Other colors, especially reds, are also vibrant, and black levels are solid. I didn't find much crush at all in the black levels or any kind of digital encoding noise. It's just an excellent presentation. Along with the PCM mono track, it sounds great. And next up is our third film from the Yellow Giallo set, and that is Strip Nude for Your Killer. What's interesting, and one of the first things to point out about this new restoration and this release, is that it has two different color gradings for the opening sequence. There's one with a distinctive blue tint. The choice of which version to play comes in the menu after the language version is chosen. It's a pretty cool feature, and it's an interesting little detail on this release that I really haven't seen before, not even on the Blue Underground version. And just as with Torso, Blue Underground did release this years ago. I think they released it around the same time as Torso, but it had some very noticeable problems from thick grain issues, crushed blacks, and also, again, the wrong aspect ratio, being much wider than it should be. This restoration from Arrow Video fixes all of it, and there is a noticeable uptick in clarity and detail levels and a healthy color reproduction. Saturation and contrast is also much better with more vibrant, robust colors. Detail levels are also impressive, and the restoration has also done a nice cleanup job with very little signs of age-related wear and tear, and no compression or encoding errors. All right, well, now we're going to switch box sets, and we're going to go into the red set. Again, I love the artwork to this, and it slips out just as the yellow does. That just looks really cool. And then on the back, of course, is each film with a plot synopsis and tech specs. I just love that. That is very simple, but very cool artwork. All right, let's start with our first movie, and that is The Possessed. I was actually really blown away by how striking this film looks, especially being filmed in black and white. There are deep blacks and various uses of grayscale that looks excellent. The film has a very unique hallucinatory imagery throughout the film, which has been reproduced, and the uses of contrast and extremely soft focus points just look excellent. The detail levels are also impressive, especially during the non-hallucinative scenes. However, I did find some minor obtrusive damage from the negative that could or could not be helped. It may have been hereditary, but overall, this is a superb and impressive looking transfer with an equally impressive PCM mono soundtrack. Now, next up, we are going to look at my second favorite Giallo film out of this set, and that is with The Fifth Chord. And this is another awesome looking transfer of a great Giallo film. It has a very nice looking lurid color palette that has been reproduced impressively well. There's a lot of different stylistic choices in the film where shots look intentionally soft or even diffused. And this is now used to the benefit of the restoration, where details look especially finer and more defined. I did find some problems, however. There is some thick grain spikes, noticeably thick grain spikes, in different scenes throughout the film, and also some density fluctuations with close-ups. Other than that, this is another impressive appearance with nicely suffused colors and excellent detail levels and a great sounding mono PCM track. Arrow Video just does a great job with these. And last but definitely not least, we have the last film in these box sets, and that is with The Pajama Girl Case. So there's two different things with the Pajama Girl Case compared to the other Giallo films in these box sets. One, it was filmed in Australia, not in Italy. And two, it's actually based on a true story. Now, because this film was shown in Australia, this is a very scenic film. And the new 2K scan restoration only boosts the sights even more. The color palette on a whole looks fresh, lush, and nicely saturated. There's really no major damage of any kind to report, and this is another impressive restoration from Arrow Video. Also, the restored PCM monotrack sounds excellent. And my whole overall score for the box sets in each of the movies is a 4.5 out of a 5. Each movie looks impressive. And as I said at the top of this video, keep an eye out for these reviews, the 4K UHD versus Blu-ray comparison review. I should have these up in the next week. Arrow Video is just knocking out of the park with these Giallo sets. You can obviously tell they're a huge fan of Giallo films, and they are, as I said, really doing justice to each of these films. And thanks for watching, and as always, keep doing your part in keeping physical media alive. We'll see you next time.